My original name. I go by several aliases, but they know me as Don Jagwarr. I was actually born in Trinidad. I grew up in Brooklyn, Flatbush. Been living out here in California now about 30-something years now. I'm a hip-hop child. I'm a hip-hop child. I was there. I tell people I was there when I was there at the inception of when chain snatching became chain snatching. It was charm snatching, and then everybody eventually got chains. I was there from the initial beginning, and I always tell people, to me, the beginning to me was hearing my first super rhymes, and hearing King Tim III. I would say probably, again, King Tim III, Super Rhymes, Run DMC really made me, Run DMC and LL Cool J, those two showed me the real commercial business aspect of it, being able to take the street to the mainstream. They gave me the drive to want to take it to that level. But then there were other underground artists that made me want to keep my edge always sharp though. Out there, well, I grew up in Flatbush, so in my neighborhood you had Special Ed, you had the Force MDs, UTFO, Chub Rock, DJ Howie T. I mean, Brooklyn did its thing back then. Out here was a different twist because I was coming from an East Coast style of rap, and when I came out here, my style was it was hard to accept, so it had to have some type of conformity. I didn't bend to their rules, but I had to learn their rules. I'm out here, so I would say the first ones that I really started swinging to, I was always digging NWA. I was always a King T. Always a King T fan. I'd probably say King T and Mad Circle. My demo actually was different because I was actually working on an album, a hip-hop album. You know, I'm 43 now. I've been rapping 30 some odd years. So when I came out here, came to LA, I was working on a rap album. Well, for years I'd been working on different albums, but when I finally got signed, I got signed in 92, 94 with Ice Cube. And at that time when I got signed, it was really simple. They just wanted me to come and drop a hook on his #1 single, Wicked, off the Predator album. They had me come in, drop the hook. That hook led to 2 weeks later him telling me, hey, I need you to do an album, same way, same style. So I stopped my hip-hop album, and in 2 weeks I did a Ragga Funk, a reggae style album. That's my style, I call Ragga Funk. High Noon was my first official release under the name Earle The Poet. So under the name Earle The Poet, I went under different guise. I was signed with EMI Records. I had a producer by the name of Greg Ski. He actually engineered the Chronic album. My hot dog cart. I am well known in the city of Los Angeles. My restaurant, my hot dog cart, Earlez Grille. Everybody knows me. EMI didn't have a rap department, so it was pretty much throwing you in the mix with different R&B artists. They were trying to get a feel for, just trying to get a feel for it, you know. And they really didn't have any rap artists. They had maybe, in fact, I think the only artist they had on the label was what's his name? CMW. I think the group CMW, Compton's Most Wanted. I was a bad kid. I had to leave New York. I was a bad kid getting into trouble. I came out here, my brother gave me the opportunity, come out here, start a business with him, and now we have the most successful restaurant, one of the most successful restaurants in Los Angeles now, so no going back for me. dog cart. Everybody used to come to my hot dog cart. In fact, one of his children's mothers was literally the whole family lived at the cart. He used to always be at my hot dog cart eating every day, and they all knew I rapped. So she kept saying, I'm gonna hook you up with my baby's father. My baby's father, he's a rapper, And she wouldn't tell me who he was, and then when she finally let me know it was him, I was like, I don't know. You know, I'm not with his style of rap, you know, it's too different. There's oil and water. But a good lyricist will accept any challenge. So that to me was a bigger challenge, to be able to go write something for him, being as complex as I was with my lyrics. On his 187 Killer album, the main title song is called If It's On. I did that one, and I did 2 other cuts. Mac 10 flipped a couple of those songs. The Game even took the same one, flipped the song also. I had a song, If It's On, and another song called Switches. And both Mac 10 and The Game flipped both of them on their new albums. His daughter, there was a few, around 92 I did some stuff for, there were a couple artists, but we had put some stuff out. We didn't actually put it out, music that was actually going to go on people's albums, but you know, either the music wasn't right, either the stuff stayed on the shelf. So that kind of made me stop doing anything for anybody unless I knew they actually had a deal going on, something worth it. You know, I don't like just like having my stuff sit around. When I had my hot dog, I am old school, and old school is always about your style and your flow. And unfortunately, a lot of these guys have lost that concept. It's not about what you say, it's how it's said. I come from a generation where if we said the alphabets to you, I can kick your ass by saying A to Z. It's just how it's said. It's the character, it's the form. Because you can freestyle, that's cool. Can't bust yourself out of a bag though. I'd feel just as bad if I couldn't sit down and write something. I feel just as bad that I can't just freestyle something. But then my answer to freestyling is, it's like a painting, you know. I can't do that. Because it's a freestyle, I write a lot of rap, so I still kick a freestyler's ass. I have that much raps to kick their ass, you know. A lot of them don't have content. When you don't have content, you know. And then I was always one never to throw a weak line into something. I'm not just into just keeping the crowd, yeah. Nah, we sat down and showed a form of intellect. And that's me. It's always been me, you know. It's always been me. One of my best ones I ever had, and the only one I would say that was ever worth talking about was with, they're known as Freestyle Fellowship, Micah 9, but back then he was known as Microphone Mike. This guy was just danger. Mount Vesuvius, 9.8 on a Richter scale, the impossible storm. They ain't even close to Mike. Mike was one of the sickest, and is probably the sickest, misunderstood lyricist ever. You know, I would tell Mike I wouldn't care who he is. I'd have Mike go against anybody, and I put all my money on Mike. They got a lot of good guys out there, but fuck your track. Let's just keep going. Let's just keep going and make sure what you say makes sense. In fact, fuck going 20 rounds. Mike, take him out in 5. Keep it simple. So we go get the battle stuff. And I bet you he don't repeat none of his stuff. You know, again, there's a lot of good guys. You ain't got battle scars and battle wounds. A lot of these cats are listening to the stuff now, but they don't understand the concept. They don't know what it's like to get a dick hard just from hearing some fly shit. They don't understand that. They don't know the weight and levity of it. Yeah, you could say something political. That's some cool shit, yeah. Okay, cool. We could all say fly political shit. Spoken word, that's cool, but that's not my style of rap. when I went up against Mike, I remember we were looking for microphone Mike for the longest. I had a little associate with me that worked my hot dog cart, and it was a cool cart. I had a grill attached, but it was like a McDonald's. Everybody was there. I set up in the parking lot of what was called the Crenshaw Swap Meet in an area known as the Jungles. That's in South LA. The name said it itself. I fed everybody in that hood. Everybody knew the hot dog man. And I remember we were looking for this kid, Microphone Mike. I mean, nobody would mess with me. I would let them fight with my little sidekick. And then one day I see this tall, slinky figure with curly hair standing down at the corner. We yell out, yo, 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 come here, come here, come here. Slinks over. What's your name? Microphone Mike. I said, so you the guy that's been kicking up all this dust around here. It's nice to meet you, nice to meet you. So you stay around here? He goes, yeah. And I remember telling him something like, okay, I let you stay out here. I didn't know you were here, but I let you stay here. And he kind of like looked at me like maybe did I hear not? I didn't hear something right. You know, and I remember looking at some clouds, and I was like, and did the clouds follow you? Because it's still gonna be a stormy day. Something to the effect like, you got problems brewing. And I remember he stepped back like, and who are you? I was like, yeah, well, I'm Earle the Poet. He was like, yeah. Everybody's been talking about you, some hot dog man, but I didn't know, yeah, I'm from New York, so I'm gonna let you stay around here, but on this side of the street is just me. You can do the, so we were doing that type of politically correct dissing, until finally we said, well, you know what this means? We gotta go head up. The only way we gotta settle this if we settle it now. And the cool thing about when I battle rappers, I'm straight to the point. You know, like I told you, if we was in old days, I would say grab 2 pistols, turn around, walk 10 paces, and start busting. I'ma stand right there and unload my whole clip up your ass. I'ma unload a clip, bullet after bullet. I'ma do all that. And basically, that's what Mike and I did. And I remember Mike dropped. Mike, when we were ready to bust, and I did some little boo-boo ass rap. I'm so fresh as I rock the beat. Say I'm fucking around and make it move your feet. On the microphone with a style of my own. Don't say that a bit because I wrote it at home. And I'm doing all the New York gestures and I'm B-boy stance when I finish, cross the arms. I'm cool J'd out. Mike smelled that and dropped some booty ass shit. After a while we looked at each other and we were like, okay, let's get straight to the point. And I dropped something on his ass. Ultimator, the devastator, so versatile, the rhyme creator, catastrophic, my rhyme topic, so destructive, but yet deductive. But battle me, step in the line, massacre, the throne is mine. And I just spit, and verse after verse, I could see the appreciation coming out of Mike's expressions. Mike was so ecstatic. The man shook my hand like, wow. Do you know how long I have not heard? And then he bust. I'm soaring through the air like a bird in flight. That's right, a microphone mic riding on the back of a fiery phoenix. The Odyssey, it's the utopia, the place to be, something to that. And I always forget them last 2 words because I was always stuck on the first verse. It burnt into me because he didn't just say I'm soaring. Busta Rhymes wasn't the first guy I saw animatic. Microphone Mike spread his arms out and looked like a vulture. I'm soaring through the air like a bird in flight. That's right. He mentioned something with tentacles. Mike was the sickest, and it reverberated through me because when I came out here, for all the months and all the years I was out here, I was running into boo-boo, bubblegum ass rappers. The first club I went to out here was Radiotron. I get up on stage, I bust one of the sickest raps, and the crowd was quiet, quieter than a church mouse, quiet. And I just felt so disrespected, and I stammered off the stage. I mean, I had the LL Cool J, I Need a Beat in the background. I mean, it was sick. I was in an Adidas B-boy sweatsuit, had the shell toes with the 1-inch thick red laces, had my little gold cap, had the cool D-Lil. Came up, I did my thing, and I got so dissed with total silence. By the time I was halfway off the stage, the DJ screams out, and now we got the Gumby Boys. And 3 dudes ran up on stage looking like Belle, Biv, and DeVoe. The prep look with slanted hairstyles, jumped up in the air and started doing the Gumby. And the crowd went bananas. And I turned and I was like, are you kidding me? And that was the first shock of LA culture. It was, I didn't hear no gang music, it was the Gumby Boys, and it shocked me. So when I got up against Mike and them, it was like somebody threw cold water. It told me I was a boxer and I was getting cheap fights. Mike steps into the ring, I'm like, wow, it's a prize fight. And with Microphone Mike and I rapped, I wouldn't even lie, I would say at least a good, anywhere from an hour and a half, maybe 2 solid hours, solid. I would stop in between, serve a customer. He was there maybe 3 hours. Mike and I rapped a good solid hour and a half, 2 hours. We wouldn't rap a whole thing, we'd rap a verse and then talk about it. And then he would rap a verse and talk about it. Then I would rap, and we would literally compliment each other. A couple days later, I got my hot dog cart set up. I see 2 individuals pass me by. What's up, man? What's up? You the hot dog man? Yeah, who are you? I'm Spoon. I'm Ace. Who are you guys? Yeah, well, we heard you went up against one of our dudes, Microphone Mike. Yeah, the kid was nice. And before I could say anything, I was on him. But as I hit one, the other one just started biting. So I'm socking it. And that was, to this day, I always tell people, that was the most memorable. That was my hip-hop experience to me, being able to even go up head against those are legends in my neighborhood. Those are legends. You got the radio legends, those are my legends, because I know ain't nobody, I knew it was like owning a priceless piece of work. I got to fight those guys, you know what I'm saying? They were prize fighters in my book. Unless I know somebody else that was funky and flyer, I know I'm star, I know them, man. Them can't exist.